What's going on, everybody? It's Colin Nitro for Nitromaniac TV's wrestling channel, and it's time for the Backlash 2018 Nitro's take. And it also marks a unique anniversary on the channel, as it is the 1-year anniversary of the very first upload on Nitromaniac TV's wrestling channel. Backlash 2017 was uploaded, the Nitro's take for that was uploaded about a year or so ago, so if you want to go back and rewatch that, that's in the archives. Spoiler alert, Backlash 2017 was a much better event than tonight. Oh, this one was bad. May 6, 2018, from the Prudential Center, The Rock in Newark, New Jersey, as the hockey fans call it. Here's my take on the matches, and this is just strictly opinion. If you're looking for in-depth review and that stuff, go elsewhere. Otherwise, this is just me spitballing stuff that I thought was relevant, and there wasn't a whole lot of it with this show. So hang on, folks, it's going to be a bumpy ride. On the pre-show, we had Ruby Riot complete with the Riot Squad to take on Bayley. Ruby got the win in 10 minutes and 10 seconds. Classic distraction finish by Liv Morgan, who was up on the apron and distracted Bayley, which allowed Ruby to get the win. Not a problem with that. Match wasn't special in any sense of the imagination. Kind of felt like your normal run-of-the-mill Monday Night Raw style match. And little did I know by watching this match that this would kind of be the theme of the night going forward. But it really didn't have that snap to it that you would expect from a pay-per-view match, especially from smaller federations and that stuff. And not saying WWE qualifies as a smaller fed, but you know, when you watch a main or a Ring of Honor pay-per-view or even an Impact pay-per-view, the wrestlers go out there and it's like pay-per-view, proving time, proving point, here we go. Whereas WWE folks is like, just another show. Okay, go out there, wrestle safe, don't get hurt. That's, you know, I think that's just philosophy that they have right now going. Didn't like the match at all. Man, Bayley has fallen off of the face of the planet. They screwed her up big time, haven't they? And Riot Squad, this is the second due of Absolution, I think, where you can get the Free Woman heel group tried to establish, I should say, itself on Monday Night Raw, because we know Absolution was originally a Free Woman group, and then Paige got hurt, and it became a two-woman group, and wasn't as effective. The Riot Squad, both groups debuted the same week, and the Riot Squad has been the more, I guess, effective of the two, especially over on SmackDown Live. So it remains to be seen if, going forward, they remain to be the most effective on Monday Night Raw, or as effective as they were on SmackDown Live even. So we'll wait and see about that going forward, but the lone bright spot of the night was the opening match of the pay-per-view, and that was for the Intercontinental title. It was The Miz going after the IC title held by Seth Rollins, and this was a match of the night. Winner hands down. It may also be a match of the year contender at the end of the year for WWE. They'll definitely make their year-end DVD set that they do every year. I love this match from front to back. The official runtime says 20 minutes and 30 seconds, but it felt more, and I could swear it was more like a 25 to 30 minute match. Old school pacing throughout, a great sequence of technical holds and that stuff in the final 6 or 7 minutes from both competitors leading up to the finish of the match. This was great. You had great psychology with Miz working on Rollins' knee, the surgically repaired knee, going forward, and it was just ballistic, and the crowd was up for it. They were into this thing, and yeah, match of the night for sure. Kudos to both guys going forward. Miz is must-see TV, and Rollins, every time he wrestles, it's awesome. So both these guys deserve any merit they get online tonight from the fans about it. It's the only match on this card that I would recommend to anybody watching, that's for sure. And it'll definitely end up probably as on the best of year-end DVD and Blu-ray set that WWE produces. And it'll be a highlight of the year for sure. Kudos. Great stuff. Second match was for the Raw Women's title. We had Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. Nia Jax walking in as the champion. She retained in 10 minutes and 20 seconds via the Samoan drop and got a pinfall victory over Alexa. I thought this match was better than their WrestleMania match, which was good for both girls, as this was, I believe, the first one-on-one rematch they've had since WrestleMania, because Alexa was, I don't want to say out, but quote-unquote working hurt over the past few weeks after getting enhancements done, shall we say, to put it in a discreet, very low and under the carpet type way. While the match itself was very passable, what happened after the match was kind of, cringeworthy. Nia Jax cut a promo on Alexa Bliss, pretty much bully shaming her. And it was WWE's attempt to get the Be a Star program over again via WWE's means on the pay-per-view and such, and get people talking about it on social media. The live crowd in Newark wasn't having any of it. The IWC Smarkdom wasn't having any of it. It was probably very ill-timed. They didn't do much, I guess, research on the location of the pay-per-view tonight to see if a promo like that would fly, or it was just an idea they wanted to throw at the wall to see if it would stick. Either way, it didn't work. I don't mind messages like that because there are children that watch the show, and these wrestlers are their heroes, and these sports entertainers are their heroes going forward. So that's all well and fine. It's just they have to do a little bit more market research and know their market a little better. That, okay, a promo like that would probably fly better in, say, maybe a San Francisco or I'm just generalizing here, a Salt Lake City over a, Philadelphia or a Newark, New Jersey, just due to the fact and due to the tough image of the towns that they're in, right? So they need to do a little bit more market research going forward. But otherwise, the match itself was great. The promo afterwards, and not so much. Next match was for the U.S. title. Jeff Hardy defended his title against Randy Orton in a match 10 years in the making, kinda, sorta, not really, no, nah. The first time they've actually faced each other on a pay-per-view in 10 years. And this one was, like I said, for the U.S. title. This was 12 minutes, and Hardy got the pinfall victory via his famous Swanton Bomb to get the 1-2-3. Very forgettable match. They turned the clock back to 2008, and unfortunately I wasn't watching wrestling too much in 2008, therefore I had no interest in this match. A series of rest holds, very late 2000s sports entertainment type pace, nothing real flashy here. Again, would have been a great match for a weekly episode of SmackDown. Probably not a great match for a network special on a Sunday, and I feel so bad for the people still using traditional pay-per-view to view these things, because you're dumping $44.95 or whatever it is down the drain at this point. It's a waste. Don't do that. As much as it pains to have the network saves so much money in the long run. So just in case a match like this shows up. So yeah, not flashy at all. Next match was a SmackDown Live exclusive match featuring Daniel Bryan, the former SmackDown Live general manager, and a returning Big Cass, making his, I was going to say his pay-per-view debut. How about his pay-per-view debut in North America? Because he was part of the Greatest Royal Rumble pay-per-view a week or so ago as his pay-per-view return after SummerSlam last year. And, this match, again, another match that probably would have lent itself better to the main event scene on SmackDown Live on a weekly television program rather than, a pay-per-view, especially the pay-per-view after WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan got the win, but afterwards, Big Cass came out and got some heel shine from attacking Daniel Bryan on the outside going forward, and he's going to need to keep doing that because the people are not booing him right now because they hate him. They boo him just sheer out of flat out not caring. It's not at Roman Reigns levels yet, but it could escalate to those levels if they're not careful. So I thought that they did this perfectly after the match, set it up so that Bryan would take all the lumps and everything that Big Cass would throw at him, because Bryan will be a sympathetic figure going forward, and over the next year, depending on where they build him in a singles capacity for Mania 35. And, you know, Cass, man, he needs to change music. The Nickelback sound-alike music is not working for me. I think I mentioned this last year at the SummerSlam Nitro's take, but I'll mention it again. You know, just gotta come up with something a little bit more better than Nickelback. That's about it. But I think it is a work in progress, and I think that we have yet to see the full Big Cass heel character come out. So I'm actually excited to see where this character goes. This is one of the few bright spots out of the night that I'll mention is Big Cass. I'm not hating on the character at all right now at this point. I'm waiting to see what happens, what evolves out of it. Next match was the SmackDown Women's Championship. We had Carmella defending her newly won SmackDown Women's title for the first time against Charlotte Flair. The match was 10 minutes, just a shade over 10 minutes at 10 minutes and 10 seconds, with Carmella winning via a roll-up. And going forward, Carmella going full heel in this match. Yes, she's got to keep doing that. That is awesome. Loved watching her just go full heel throughout this match on Charlotte Flair. She's got to be the loud, obnoxious, almost Vicky Guerrero-esque type heel in order for this to work. And she'll generate, you know, all that negative attention that she needs for that character to, you know, get more and more over with the crowd. So keep doing that. Yes, absolutely. Just hammer it in there every time you're out there. Just be the loud, obnoxious Staten Island vixen, right? So, and just keep going with it. Charlotte herself, actually, I thought these two had a decent chemistry. The opening of the match with the Yakuza kick that Charlotte attempted to do on Carmella, and they missed it by about a foot or so. So that, I think, just, you know, ill timing there. But otherwise, the match itself was good. I don't think it was as good as the Raw Women's match. I thought that the Raw Women's title match was slightly better than the SmackDown Live match. This one, again, looked like it could have been a main event on any SmackDown Live television show throughout the week. Didn't have that real pay-per-view special to it. But compared to everything else on the show, halfway decent? Sure. All right, the next match was the no disqualification match for the WWE Championship between Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles. In WWE, it was Nakamura Styles free. In the complete wrestling vocabulary, it was Nakamura Styles 4. And this one probably made the least sense out of all of them. The match, for the most part, was really good. I thought that it was better than the Mania match, and definitely better than the Greatest Royal Rumble match. I expected this match actually at Mania that they were having for the first 3 quarters of it. I really enjoyed it. It was the finish, which started with kind of like a low blow. Nakamura has been doing the low blow thing on SmackDown recently, where he's been attacking AJ with the low blow, which, you know, stems out of the aftermath of the WrestleMania match. So Nakamura hits Styles with the low blow. As Styles goes down, he hits Nakamura with a low blow. And this sequence was repeated, by my count, no less than 2, maybe 3 times during the match. And the third time, it was a double low blow, which felled both men in the ring, which led to the referee going and calling for the bell, stating that neither men could continue. Therefore, it was a double countout in a no disqualification match. So in 2018, we've come all this way, where the old stipulation used to be no disqualification meant there must be a winner. There used to be that little tagline at the end of it. No DQ, must be a winner. We come all this way into 2018, and now we've got, oh, no disqualification, but you can still get counted out. Somebody missed the fine details there. Again, I think this match suffered, and a lot of this card suffered from just the last minute nature of it. I think all guns were loaded for going over to Saudi Arabia, and then when they came back, they realized, crap, we got a pay-per-view coming up at the end of the week. Well, what do we want to do? Okay. I know the women's matches had some time behind them, but that's just, you know, they overlooked a lot of the fine details here. Now, this storyline between AJ and Nakamura has zero interest to me, just because of that illogical finish. It's throwing it out the window, and you've taken these two great performers from, you know, these two huge acquisitions that you've got from your competitor, essentially, throwing them in there in a free match trilogy where two of the matches were no decisions, and the opening match, the good guy won, who you deemed was the good guy, and then you created a heel out of the second good guy. I'm lost here, guys. I'm absolutely lost where they're going with this, what the situation will be going forward. Help me out here. If you think you have an idea of what to do with Nakamura and Styles to help salvage this thing now, comments below. Or tweet at me at KellenNitro. Either way, I'm taking any and all ideas right now about this. This is just where it's at right now. Deplorable. Absolutely deplorable. In the semi-main event spot, or the last match prior to the main event, we had the Raw Grudge Tag Team match between Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. Lashley got the pinfall for the victory, and we were teased a little bit with potentially some dissension between Owens and Zayn. It's been interesting to me that all this dissension has kind of centered around Sami Zayn starting the dissension and not Kevin Owens this time around. So it's kind of a flip-flop over the Owens-Jericho thing from a year ago leading into Mania. Again, interested to see where this goes going forward. And, you know, Strowman again, I guess Strowman and Lashley are building towards a program maybe for Money in the Bank, maybe for SummerSlam, where the two go heads up against each other. That'll be a fun match to check out. I'm cool with that. Two big hosses, as JR would say. And in the main event, it was Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. This match was very, gosh, it was very forgettable for the most part. I know I read reports of people tweeting online that they were walking out of the building during the main event, that they've got up and left, and the crowd did look, well, not sizably smaller. There were a few empty seats when the 1-2 free count was going down. So, yeah, it was maybe a mixture of WWE trying to fit too much too quickly after such a big event in Saudi Arabia on this card, or just the fact that of the last minute booking, you know, going forward. It just, this card, guys, was not very good. Not very good at all. If I had to give it a rating out of 10, a 5 out of 10. A very memorable Intercontinental title match that will probably be shown on all the year-end specials and that stuff, and probably be up for Match of the Year by some publications, maybe some websites and that stuff. Maybe you have a website or a blog that you'd like just straight WWE stuff, don't care about the indies, don't care about New Japan, you might have that one up there. But man, it's hard to find redeeming qualities out of this card, and I think that, and potentially, man, you gotta scrape the bottom of the barrel and help me out. That's about it. All right, folks, I'm KellenNitro. Later days, happy wrestling watching. And yeah, let's hope that the next one is better than this one. All right, see you guys.